You licked the microphone?
Yeah, like kind of like ah. Anyway, hi, welcome to episode 17 of IPP. This is
The IPP podcast.
This is Donald Trump's favorite podcast because it's the best one he's ever seen. It's the best one. Mine's not very good.
This is the best one ever.
It's so good. Like I'm losing it.
They're
I've
so
lost it.
good. They're so funny.
They talk about dick and balls and poo poo.
And I like that. I like that a lot.
I like that. I do that a lot. I do that a lot.
Anyways, I know that our family
losing
love to hear that on our podcast. All right. So first,
okay, we have a pseudo pet of the week.
Oh yeah, this month's been so fucking weird for us.
We've had a weird month, so bear with us. But you know, we wanted to give you something. So kinda as a bit, but I was also kind of serious. I told my brother we could do his Roomba. So this week's pet of the week is Jeremy the Roomba.
The Roomba.
The Roomba. So Jeremy is the fancy Roomba that has like a mop.
Yeah.
So
crazy, dude. We got
Jerry. So
Jerry.
I bought Jerry. There's like a regular vacuum Roomba for him and my sister-in-law's wedding, which was like 3-4 years ago at this point. And I bought it as a wedding gift for them. And then they're like, "Hey, we're moving into a new house. We're getting a better Roomba. Do you want our old Roomba?"
We're getting Jeremy.
So basically, I bought my own Roomba, but I got it just like several years later. Yeah. Not only did I buy it brand new, I got it used.
You got it used
several years later. But yeah, I hope you like that. Jeremy the Roomba. Hey, give it up for Jeremy the Roomba.
Jeremy the
Roomba.
I think that's perfect.
You can have that one.
This Pokemon is Godzilla.
Godzilla.
It looks exactly like Godzilla. It has.
Is it like the same color as Godzilla?
Well, it's got like red like
What is this
hands.
motion you're doing? You're like shaking your hand.
It's got like red hands, I guess. They're not really
doing that
hands, but they're
you're
hands.
Like you're trying to cop a field. Like you're shaking your hand. It's got red hands.
Yeah.
And it looks like Godzilla.
It's an ice Pokemon.
So is it brown, gray?
It's like gray
with red hands.
Then it's got like white, like a white scale on the front of it. It has a pretty pointy face.
Not Rush. No, we already said Kyurem. And Kyurem doesn't look like Godzilla.
He is a dragon type.
No, I could have told you that one. I don't.
The Pokemon number is 999
or
98.
I'm not
998.
998. The 998th Pokemon.
It's almost 1,000.
So close, but not close enough. 900.
I knew since it was a high one, it was going to be a tougher one.
I don't know. I don't know.
Boom.
Venusaur. Baxcalibur.
It looks dope as hell.
Yeah,
huh?
Man. I was totally going to say that.
Baxcalibur, yeah.
I was going to say that.
Super cool.
Neato. Gonna put that one on screen for you. Peyton, that one's for you.
This week's game isn't necessarily a game. I've been watching a lot of shows recently, and I love movies.
You do?
I do. And one of my favorite things to look at is to see how big corporations of movies flop. And so I looked at the top 10 biggest box office flops.
I love when marketing campaigns don't work.
It's so great. It's so amazing. And then, at the very end, I also have the top 10, most box office ones.
So today we learn trivia.
Today,
We learn trivia.
We'll start at number 10 and make our way up to the most...
Like the worst
performed
movie
box office ever.
Okay.
So number 10, we have Pan from 2015.
Pan. Oh my god.
It's a Peter Pan.
I remember that.
It was a pretty hype movie when it was first announced as a live
Oh my god,
action.
I completely forgot about that movie.
Yep, retelling the classic Peter Pan story.
Holy crap. It was live action, right?
It was live action, yep. It bombed.
Oh my god.
You know what's funny is, like, growing up, I thought, like, bombing something was, like, you did amazing.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, I remember this movie.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember this guy, was this supposed to be Hook? Because he was
You want to
bald.
know who that is?
He was bald and had crazy facial hair and an earring.
You want to know who that is? I could be wrong, but I think that's Hugh Jackman.
I think you're right. No, you are wrong.
Oh, who is
Captain
it?
Hook is Garrett Hudland.
Oh.
Hudland. I don't know. Anyway, but I remember this movie. Not for any particular reason other than it looks weird.
Yeah, I remember it coming out, and I don't even think I watched it as a kid, just because I was just
never
like,
watched
that
it.
looks weird.
Hey, that looks funny.
So that lost $185 million. Damn.
And that's the lowest.
That's the lowest.
Damn.
It grossed so worldwide. It can kind of give you the idea of the budget. I didn't put the budgets in here, but it grossed $128 million.
And it still lost
worldwide,
185.
and it still lost 185. So that's kind of how these are gonna go. Is I'm gonna tell you what it is, read a little bit about it, and then tell you what the
how
much it lost.
Spectacular.
This next one I did watch.
Uh-huh.
And I watched it, and I was like, that's interesting, but it didn't even be a movie.
Uh-huh.
Battleship, 2012, with Rihanna.
I also remember Battleship. Didn't watch it,
Rihanna
but I
was in
remember it. Rihanna, from what I remember, has been in like 3 movies.
Battleship is one of them.
Battleship is one of them.
So, if you don't know, this movie was based off of the board game.
No way.
Yeah.
No
but
fucking way.
It honestly wasn't really in the
Uh-huh.
movie. It was because there's like aliens and
There was aliens in that
There's
movie?
aliens.
Oh my god.
They fought like alien battleships.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And they ended up, because they get their ship gets sunk by these aliens.
You sunk his battleship?
They sunk their battleship, so
No
then they had to resort
way.
to like a really old battleship that was decommissioned,
Uh-huh.
and that's how they end up winning.
Liam Neeson was in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, pretty crazy. You will see the top actor at the very top. This guy right here. I
Taylor
feel bad.
Kitsch?
Yeah, I feel bad for him because he is in a lot of these movies.
Oh, it just sounds like I'll take any kind of job.
I think at
Sort of
his
thing.
at his career height, that's kind of what it was.
He was on Snakes on a Plane though.
Yeah, that's
Good for
a good
him.
one. So it lost 199
Oh
million.
my god.
It grossed. This is what's crazy. It grossed 303 million.
Whoa.
So it's not like it didn't gross anything.
Yeah.
It grossed a pretty decent amount. That just means that the budget was insane.
Yeah. That means that someone put their whole battleship pussy into that
Battleship pussy.
budget and it did not pay off.
Yeah. So this next one is a animated one.
Okay.
And I'm a little upset by this because I love animated movies.
Uh-huh.
A Strange World, 2023.
I don't know. I've never heard of that.
It's a Pixar.
A Pixar movie?
Oh wait, it's a Disney movie, not a Pixar.
Okay, I was like a Disney movie maybe, but not a
Um,
Pixar movie.
It was okay. I watched it. I liked it. It was all right.
Strange World.
The marketing for
What
it
the
was kind of crazy.
What the what?
Look at the cast.
I've never seen this before. It's 2022. I've never seen
Jake-
Dennis Quaid?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Dennis Quaid and Jake and Lucy Liu.
Yeah, crazy cast.
That's again, I would
I
give
only
me pause for Pixar, but not for Disney.
I
believe
only
Disney
watched
could
it
do that.
because Jake Gyllenhaal was in it,
yeah,
and I love him.
I think he's a good actor.
I think he's a great actor.
I have more respect for him after watching Donnie Darko for sure.
Oh, dude, after
I
watching,
was neutral
after watching
before.
Nightcrawler, I was like
Yeah,
Jake Gyllenhaal fan.
he's a
stan. I
He's
was a stan.
great actor. He has a great range.
Yeah,
Great
him in
performer.
Southpaw as well. Oh my
Mhm.
god. Anyways,
Anyway,
okay.
now that you're
Sorry.
done suck Jake Gyllenhaal's dick,
Anyways,
slurping on it, balls to shaft. Go on.
so
Sorry,
go
Mom.
Toby, go Toby, go Toby.
Stop,
Get it, Toby.
stop.
It lost 197 million. It grossed 73.6
Wait, that one
million.
lost less than the previous one.
Because the other one
Grossed more?
More.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So it was a bigger loss.
Yes.
Got it. This
Yeah.
one. Okay.
This one it grossed 73 million. $73.6 million. That's why it's bigger loss, because the box office worldwide was only 73 million. Yeah. So this came out in 2023.
Oh, Google says 2022.
Oh. Mine says 2023.
73 million?
Yep.
That is so tiny for a movie.
Yeah.
That's insane. For a Disney movie?
A Disney movie, yeah. It was insane.
Oh my god.
So another
Holy
number
shit.
7 is another this was a CGI one. Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas.
I've heard of this movie.
I've heard of it. I have not watched
I've heard
it.
of this movie.
History's next worst cinematic flop was also a Pirates movie, Sinbad.
Oh my god. Legend of the Yes, dude. I've heard of this movie.
CGI was impressive for the time, but it was an expensive film to make, especially considering that it was released nearly simultaneously with a inaugural entry of what would become one of the most successful pirate films, Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay, so it released.
Oh yeah, released at the same time as
Released at the same
Pirates.
time.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I mean, the animation looks fine. Like it looks.
like,
Honestly,
okay.
it looks
like 2003 animation.
Yeah. Shoot. What's that movie? With the really really hot girl in it, and they were in like Egypt, not Egypt. Where were they?
Atlantis?
No.
Oh.
Crap. I'll remember. It
I know
later.
what you're talking about now.
Yeah, she wears like a blue. She has long.
El
black hair.
Dorado?
Yes, the Road to El Dorado.
Yes.
It looks like that. That like animation.
Yeah.
It looks like quality at least.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
2003.
I'm glad you knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I was like a hot girl in that movie.
Hot girl.
I don't know. She wears a skirt.
I was like,
I
Atlantis?
Close. There's also a hot girl.
There's also
in that
a hot
movie.
girl in that one. So this one lost 199 million. It grossed 80 million worldwide.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get stuck at the same year or same time as
Pirates of the Caribbean and you're making an animated film.
Damn.
Yeah, that's kind of tough.
Damn.
So next one is also another pirate movie. Came out a little bit sooner.
People love pirates.
1995, called Cutthroat Island.
Okay, never heard of that.
Never heard of it either. The pictures I saw, I could be wrong, but it has the girl from Beetlejuice, the wife from Beetlejuice.
Oh, the wife,
Yeah.
Catherine O'Hara.
I think that's her name. Yeah.
Yeah.
It had her in it.
Right, that's her name.
I think so. It was
Cutthroat Island.
another high budget, low grossing film.
Oh, Gina Davis. No. Oh, I thought you meant
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Gina Davis is Barbara.
mom.
Is Barbara.
The mom, yeah.
No, Barbara's not or Gina Davis is with the other guy. I can't remember his name. Barbara and Adam are the ghosts that live in.
Yeah, that's
And then Catherine O'Hara is Lydia's stepmom.
That's why I said wife, not mom.
Because she's not. Okay. Anyway.
Okay,
The point.
yeah.
The point. Gina Davis. Yes,
Yeah, anyway, she's in
yes.
this movie. That became the butt of many jokes because it was a late 90s Cutthroat Island bombed so hard it led to bankruptcy of the studio that produced it. On top of a chaotic production, poorly written story, and bad casting choices, critics were not kind to this film and studio and did not have the resources to properly market it.
Awesome.
Well, that's kind of sad.
That's crazy.
When a whole production company goes bankrupt because of it.
It was Carol Co. Pictures.
Yeah, haven't heard of that.
Yeah, I think that's why.
It lost 220 million. Or 202 million, sorry.
Damn.
Worldwide was 18.3 million. That's insane. That's crazy. It lost 202 million.
That's
and
awesome.
It only grossed 18.
People love pirates, so when you fuck it up
so
that
funny.
bad, you know you got a heater on your hands.
Yeah. So this next one, number 5, I remember when it came out. I think I tried watching this movie and fell asleep and woke up at the end of it. It's called Mortal Engines.
I remember watching the trailer for Mortal Engines and being like, "Oh, that looks literally so sick."
That
And
looks
then
so
I
cool.
don't know if I ever watched it. I think I watched part of it. And people were like, "Yeah, this movie sucks."
Yeah, they're like, this was not good.
Yeah, I remember again watching the trailer and being like, "Oh, that movie looks so sick."
Yeah. So it was an attempt to generate another pop culture, I guess, series of movies. I forget what they're called.
Yeah.
Trilogy of movies.
Right.
Because especially the time it was released was around the time of like Hunger Games, and they really wanted to gravitate towards that younger audience.
Was it a book? Was Mortal
It was
Engines
a book.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it was multiple books. It was released in 2018. It lost $204 million.
Jeez.
It only grossed $83.7 million.
God, that's.
And it's funny because if you watch the trailers for it and everything,
It looks cool.
It looks okay.
It looks fine.
Yeah.
Definitely not like a top 10 worst performing movies of all time, but it looked okay.
Yeah. I think this says right here, the film flopped hard due to the audience's unfamiliarity with the source material, a crowded release window, and a massive budget that it was just unable to recoup.
Yeah.
And with something with that world itself, with how I feel like, and that's probably one of the reasons why I fell asleep during it, was because when I was watching it, there was just they were shoving info down my throat, and they were moving so quick that I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
See, that's the thing. Like, I knew Hunger Games was a thing before the movies came out. I
Yeah.
knew Divergent was a thing before the movies came out. Like, I didn't even know that was a book. I didn't even know anything about it. I was just like,
I think they
yeah,
market it as like that. They're like the next big Hunger Games.
Right. Or at least that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
Desperately.
This next one is The 13th Warrior. Haven't
Okay.
heard of it.
No.
1999.
Not a clue.
It flopped due to the how obnoxious the film production was at the time.
What do you mean how does film production obnoxious?
Ambitious.
Go ahead. Sound it out.
It was ambitious for the time. The film's budget initially around $85 million soared and nearly doubled by the time of all of the re-edits, expensive special effects,
Right.
and blah 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 blah.
For 99 or 95?
1999.
99. Okay.
It lost $227 million. It grossed $61.7 million.
Oh, what's the movie about?
That's a great idea.
What was it called?
The 13th Warrior.
13th Warrior.
I'm
well,
guessing
I can.
samurai.
Yeah. God. The 13th Warrior. Historical. Oh.
Oh, who's that?
Antonio Banderas. That's who that is.
Oh.
A Muslim ambassador exiled from his homeland finds himself in the company of Vikings. While the behavior of the Norsemen initially offends the Ibn Fadlan, the more cultured outsider grows to respect the tough, if uncouth, love that word, warrior.
Uncouth.
During their travels together, Ibn Fadlan and the Vikings get word of an evil presence closing in, and they must fight the frightening and formidable force, which is previously thought to be to exist only in legend.
Oh my gosh.
And Antonio Banderas in it.
I
love Antonio Banderas for the sole reason that he's Puss in Boots.
Yeah, seriously. I
don't know anything about Antonio Banderas other than he's Puss in Boots.
He's also Zorro.
And Zorro. Yes,
Yeah.
he is also Zorro.
He's also Zorro. That was like a staple for me growing up as a kid. I loved that movie.
Which is fair. But I love Shrek.
That is true.
I
And
also
Puss in Boots.
love Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots. Oh my god, that movie's so good.
Oh yeah. What was
The
it
Last
called?
Wish.
Last Wish.
Oh,
I remember you
so
showing me
good.
that movie, and I was like,
sit your ass down
you were
and watch
talking it up
this.
so much. I was like, okay, sure. And then at the end, I was like, damn, which was right. Which was right.
You're like, damn it.
I'm like, that movie was really good.
Yeah, it was super good.
That cat was going through like some real human emotion.
Oh
there.
yeah, he had a panic attack.
He had PTSD. He was having a panic attack. He was fighting fucking death itself. And I was like, damn,
Yeah.
let this little orange breathe.
Let this motherfucker breathe.
Yeah. Great
So
movie.
this next one, number 3, we're getting close.
Top 3. Here we go.
Top 3.
Bronze medalist.
The Marvels.
Really? It did that bad?
It did that bad.
Damn.
So this was kind of like at the height of when the Marvel Cinematic Universe was kind of dipping down.
After Endgame is really when it took a pooper.
Yeah, so it grossed $206 million.
Right.
It lost $237 million.
Yikes.
Yeah. And that's just one thing about those games is they just throw
games
money. Did I say games?
You said games?
Holy crap, dude.
Movies?
It's been a long day.
Yeah, especially after they were like, well, it doesn't matter what we put out, like Marvel.
People
it doesn't
will
matter
just-
what we put out. People will watch it because we're Marvel.
But
and
then
people will watch it. And then they're like, oh, we'll watch it, but it sucks.
Yeah.
But it super sucks. I didn't watch it because I was like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
You lost me.
That was one that I saw that I was like, I want to watch that. And then it came and went, and I was like, wasn't I supposed to watch that?
I'm only a casual enjoyer. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know? I don't care.
You're not like crying in your seat. I will say though, I did cry a little bit during like I think Infinity War or Endgame, one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little teary eyed.
Yeah.
And like I think it was
the ending of that movie was you know, was worth a tear or two. I'll give you that.
Yeah. I mean Robert Downey Jr. doing the snap.
Yeah.
I was like,
Spoilers, I guess, for Avengers Endgame.
I mean, come on. If you haven't seen the movie already.
Get over yourself.
Jesus.
But I will say, like, that moment when I saw Cap grab the hammer Mjolnir for the first time, I was like, damn, that's heat. That's
yeah,
good.
I was like, that's something straight out of a comic book right there.
That's the best moment in almost all of these movies.
Yeah.
And it will be the best moment for the remainder of
for
them
a
because they will all be really bad.
Very long time.
Yeah, I was like, that was awesome.
It will be so hard to beat that.
I was like, that was
so
awesome.
hard.
The build up, the execution.
Imagine the next one is Spider-Man getting it.
Dude. That'd be funny. Just like Spider-Man as a character.
Yeah.
Mjolnir is kind of funny. Number 2.
So number 2 and number 1 I've known for a very long time.
Okay.
The Lone Ranger, 2013.
2013. Like, is it a remake of the
Johnny Depp?
The Lone Ranger.
It is a remake. I will say
That's
that.
what I was saying. I was like, the original Lone Ranger came out a long time ago.
Yes. This was a remake. It was a Disney one again. Johnny Depp and Armie Hammer. Good old Armie. You know, he's doing real good nowadays.
Uh-huh.
He's not. He's been canceled, guys.
Oh, Armie Hammer?
Yes.
Oh my God. Have you seen those DMs from Armie Hammer?
They're bad.
It's really, really, really bad. Anyway, keep talking about the Lone Ranger.
But yeah.
Yes, I remember this movie.
Yep.
I remember.
And you know what's funny too is I watched it. I don't know if I watched it in theaters, but I watched it and I liked it. I thought it was okay. Then again, I was also 13 when I watched it.
Yeah.
So I was just like, whoa, this is cool. And then like the whole...
I remember this.
I think it was like when he's running up to the train at the very end and they start playing the dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
dude.
It just had such a huge budget. So...
Oh, so that's probably why the budget was massive and they couldn't make it up.
So it lost $240 million.
Uh-huh.
And it grossed $240 million.
Yo.
So the budget was insane. It was crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God.
People at this time Disney was kind of just trying everything. Because before that, they also had the number 1 spot. John Carter. Don't know if you've heard of this one.
John Carter.
It has the guy from Battleship that I had told you. 2012.
John Carter.
It was basically of a cowboy who gets transported to Mars and is... Yeah, and
like a Wild West cowboy, like
a
from
Wild
the time.
West. He's running from somewhere, falls into a cave. The cave transports him to Mars.
Dog.
And then from there, he goes on this whole crazy, adventure.
I would
on
watch
Mars.
this movie in a fucking heartbeat. Are you kidding me? A rootin' tootin' cowboy? No, he's a Civil War veteran.
Oh, Civil War. My bad.
Civil War?
Civil War.
Civil War? And he gets teleported to...
Yeah.
I want to consume every media, every form of media this movie exists in. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's
so funny.
Because no one could figure out what it was about. Nobody knew who the lead actors in it were. And it was just, there was so much riding on the success of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise.
Yeah.
That people were, they didn't know anything about it. People watched it and they were just like, we don't know who these people are. We feel like we shouldn't be attached to these people or anything.
Right.
And I will say I also watched this as a kid too when it first came out, and I quite enjoyed it.
Right.
As a 12-year-old, I haven't revisited it. I probably should.
Yeah,
but
I would watch this movie in a fucking heartbeat.
Let's get down to the facts. It lost $255 million. It grossed $284 million.
Huh.
So the budget was also insane as well.
Huh.
So in other words, just to let you know,
the
top 3 are all Disney movies. Disney doesn't know how to fucking make them, dude.
I mean, I feel like especially within the past like 10, maybe 15 years, it's real hit or miss.
It is real hit or miss.
It really is. Like, I love, like, Moana. I thought Moana was a fantastic movie. I still love Moana. I love that movie. But then you look at, like, Wish, and you're like, this is doo-doo. And it came out in the same decade.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. Like, sometimes they throw this massive budget, and you have all this time, and you can pay Lin-Manuel Miranda to make your soundtrack, and it bangs. Or you get Chris Pine and you flub it. Like, I don't know. Disney doesn't seem to be consistent lately.
It has not been consistent for it seems like since 2012 to be exact.
Yeah, I seriously like.
And then it got even worse when they acquired Marvel, because then you got a lot of the great movies from Marvel.
Yeah.
But then like the second it started, getting a little bit longer, people stopped kind of started losing interest, and that's when they start bringing in writers. It happened with Star Wars. They acquired Star Wars and completely dropped the ball. Completely. But let's get back into the top 10 grossing.
Avengers is one of them. It's in the top 3.
We'll go
Avengers Endgame
10
specifically.
Up again. Yeah. Number 10, Jurassic World.
The first one.
Jurassic World? The new one.
No, I know, but I mean, like, because they've made multiple Jurassic Worlds. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, no,
they're up to their third Jurassic World.
The first Jurassic World. The
Jurassic
one that,
World is now a trilogy.
Restarted everything from the Jurassic Park.
Yes, I quite like that movie.
Yeah, I did too. I enjoyed it.
I remember me and my mom went to go watch that movie.
I think I watched it in the theaters as well.
Used to, like, what's his name? Chris, all of the Chris's are going through my mind.
Chris Rock, Chris Evans.
Not Chris Evans.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. You say Chris Rock. the only black Chris you could have said among the sea of white Chris's you could have said. That's so funny. No, Chris Pratt. I used to love Chris Pratt, and then he kept getting hired in everything. I was like, this dude is getting on my nerves.
Yeah,
but I loved him because I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I love those movies.
He's so good in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Good.
That's what got him his start.
Yeah, it really. I mean,
I'm in Parks and Rec.
He was in Parks and Rec, but I mean, it was the first time
he got hired while doing Parks and Rec to do Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, and then he lost all that weight, got ripped as shit, and then he was like, "Yeah, this is just me now."
That's what I'm saying. Whenever you start losing weight and you get ripped as shit, something happens to you.
Yeah, I don't know. But no, he kept getting hired in everything. But in the span of him getting hired and everything, he got hired in Jurassic World, and I quite like that movie.
I like that movie.
I liked it. It was good.
Number 9, Inside Out 2.
And I haven't seen Inside Out 2, but I know people loved it. I loved the first one. The first one was awesome.
Yeah. I watched Soul Have you watched Soul?
No, I didn't watch Soul, but
I
I know people
cried.
like that movie too.
I cried during the ending
Yeah.
because I was like, "Damn, this is beautiful." But yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Disney's hit or miss. But
it's so hit or miss.
Inside Out is
Pixar,
well,
I think, right?
Pixar's owned by Disney, so it doesn't. It's all the same.
Dude,
but I mean, Pixar as a like a Disney is the parent and Pixar as like the child, their sister company.
Pixar.
Of Disney. Talk about bangers.
Talk about
heater after heater.
I swear, they know how to produce those.
Yeah. So when you let Pixar do its thing and Disney stays out of the ring.
This
bangers.
next one, I don't necessarily know. It's called Naja 2.
Let me see.
Naja 2.
Where? What am I looking at?
Naja 2.
Naja
2.
That's N-E.
I'm guessing it's...
Let me look up that movie for you. Naja 2, specifically the second one.
Specifically the second one. So
it's...
Is it animated?
Yes, it is. It is a... Whoa.
Do we need to watch it?
It's in Mandarin.
Sick.
So we're going to have to watch some subtitles.
That's fine.
Oh, it released this year.
Oh, what the heck? It's already number 8.
It got a 96 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Dude,
Holy
we have
crap.
to watch
No,
this.
it's an animated movie. The studio is Beijing and Light Pictures and Warner Bros. And Encore.
Oh, okay. Warner Bros. We see you.
Yeah. Hold on, let me see. This is crazy.
I didn't know that this released this year.
Written and directed by Jiaozi. I can't speak Mandarin. Sorry
Hell
about
yeah.
that. Based on a Chinese mythical character in Zhu Zhonglin's 16th century novel Investiture of the Gods.
Hey, if you're into animated movies, watch this one.
I guess watch Ninja 2. That's crazy.
Do we need
Coinciding with the first day of Chinese New Year. Highly positive reviews from critics, animation, action sequences, world building, and emotional core received an even greater commercial success with a current gross of more than $2.1 billion against the production of $80 million.
Holy
no
crap.
wonder it's number 8, dude.
That's
no
insane.
wonder. It broke numerous box office records inside and outside of China. It became the highest grossing film in a single box office territory and globally became the highest grossing animated film, the highest grossing non-English language film, being the first to gross $2 billion, and the first animated film in history to cross the $2 billion mark. Dude, that's insane.
I was so downplaying this in my mind where I was just
dude,
this movie came out
that's
years
insane.
ago, blah, blah, blah. No, that's crazy.
Yo!
That's so cool.
In 3 days after its release in China, the film's box office released 1.1 billion yuan. I think yuan is the Mandarin or Chinese currency. Whoa, which is about $137 million. So 1.1 billion yuan is 137 million. So in the first 3 days, it made 137
They were making
million
Minecraft money. They were doing Minecraft money.
And they didn't even need Jack Black to do it.
No, they didn't need him.
That's insane.
That's nuts.
Whoa.
So speaking of Disney being hit or miss,
yeah,
the next 3 are Disney.
7,
6, and 5. 7 being Spider-Man: No Way Home. Hey.
Okay, Spider-Man.
6 being Infinity War.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
Endgame. 5 being
Endgame.
No. 5 being Force Awakens.
Really? Oh.
When Force Awakens was coming out, I'm telling you, the hype. That's what I'm saying, dude. They choked so bad on Star Wars. Because imagine if 6 and 7, or not 6 and 7, if, dear Lord.
7 and 8.
7 and 8 were as good.
No. 8 and 9.
8 and 9. There we go.
Because Force Awakens would have
Holy
been 7.
crap.
And then,
we're going to hear this from your brother.
It's fine. We saved it. We corrected it.
It's corrected it.
It's fine.
Imagine if those 2 were as good as Force Awakens.
I won't lie to you. I don't remember much about Force. Oh, is the beginning of Force Awakens when it's Poe, right? Where he's like, right? Is his name Poe or Finn?
Finn, when
he's
popping up from the desert.
Yeah. He's the working with the Empire.
Yeah,
and
he's the stormtrooper.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so I do remember that movie. Just kidding.
Yeah, the hype around that movie was so insane.
I remember liking it.
It was crazy.
But then again, I like almost any movie I sit down and watch just because I'm like, oh, it's a movie.
That is true.
But I did like the Star Wars, the prequels. Or the sequels. I didn't hate them.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Titanic.
The first Titanic?
There's only been one Titanic.
Well, there's been a remake. That's why I say that.
Has it really?
Yeah. But I mean, that was a stupid question anyway, because of course the remake didn't do any better.
Yeah, Titanic.
Titanic 2, The Resinking is what the movie is called.
The
Resinking. Better to come in the sink than sink in the cum. Play the clip.
Play the clip.
Chat, play the clip. Not that one. Not that
one. So this was James Cameron's first.
Oh my God.
First like major super big hit.
Yeah, man.
I mean, he also did the Terminator movies, at least the first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did the first Terminator movie.
Okay.
Which is also insane.
Yeah.
But him being number 4, he's also 3-1. So he is Avatar: Way of Water number 3.
Yeah, he also made Avatar. Avatar was number 1 until Avengers.
Avatar is still number 1.
Oh yeah, 'cause the second one is now number 1.
Avatar: Way of Water is number 3. And then Endgame is number 2, and Avatar is number 1.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Avatar still.
Dude, I can't wait for the third Avatar. Oh my God.
I had never seen any of those movies until you put it on one day, and I was just sitting there just like enraptured. I was sitting on the couch just like, oh my God.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was I was a little off put, and I thought it was kind of funny, is that it was that one guy. He wasn't like one of like the blue people, but he was just a guy.
Oh, the kid?
Yeah, the kid. Yeah. And he wears like a mask, and then he's like walking around doing all the stuff they're doing. I'm like, dog, you look 4 feet tall next to these 8 feet tall.
Yeah, that's what he is. He's also like a teenager next to like 7 foot, almost 8 foot creatures.
Yeah, and it was really funny to watch. But it was also like, damn, this movie's crazy.
It's insane, dude.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so those were just some little...
Yeah, that's crazy that Avatar, once again, at the top. Because that's what I'm saying. Like, when Endgame came out, it beat Avatar.
It did.
When it came out.
And then Avatar 2 was going to come out, and they re-released Avatar again, and it made more money. And that's why I think it's so funny, is because unlike...
James Cameron said, fuck you, Marvel.
He's... Quite literally did. It's so funny to me, too, because Marvel had all of this buildup.
He said, my movie better.
It had like 20 years of buildup. And then Avatar drops. Well, Avatar dropped like in 2015, I think.
So, yeah.
And it was insane.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Watching that at that time, you were like, holy crap. And what's crazy, too, about that is it's not like an insane story.
No.
It's not.
It's just like...
It's about
visually.
Family.
It's about family, Dom. It's about family, Jake Sully.
But yeah, no, the visuals of it is just crazy. And when the second one was being released, I watch visual artists, they react to things. And there's this one scene of them tying something to his hand in the water, and they could not fathom how James Cameron could do that. And they had someone on their show who explained to them and gave them exclusive behind the scene footage of how they broke that down.
That's awesome.
And it was done in real life. The only thing that was fake was like one thing part of it, and it was like something blue that he was tying down. Everything else was completely real in that. There's the burp.
Sorry. It was a big one too. That's crazy.
But yeah,
James Cameron said, "I did not go to the bottom of the ocean for fun. I'm here for business."
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. It's so crazy, just the well of South Park references I can pull out of my ass at any time. But they there was one South Park episode where they're like, the bar is too low, like, for jokes and stuff like that. Yeah. It's like, nobody can find the bar. And they made a joke that James Cameron got into his little sea shuttle thing, went to the bottom of the ocean, and found the bar.
The bar.
The metaphorical bar.
The bar. That is so funny.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Actually, speaking of South Park, it's funny you bring that up because I have recently gone down a little rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Not of specifically South Park, but of the guy who wrote and made the South Park theme song.
Oh, the guy from Primus.
Yes.
Yeah.
I came across a TikTok of someone saying that he auditioned for Metallica, and Metallica turned him down and told him he was too good.
Yeah.
I thought that was so insane. So I've been going down a little bit rabbit hole, and I've been listening more of him.
You're learning music things.
And yeah,
I'm so proud.
it's pretty crazy how insane he is at the bass.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
Yeah, but he's also a goofer gaffer. And
He's
that's why
in-
he's
yeah.
writing the theme song for South Park.
Yeah,
It's by
and-
this theme song for South Park for
And
over
it's
20
funny
years.
because if you listen to Primus music,
Mm-hmm.
it's some stuff that you think you would never listen to,
Yeah.
but it's just like it's so fun to listen to because
Yeah.
you could tell that they're just having fun.
Mm-hmm.
They're not doing it for like super seriousness, but they're also like pushing themselves to like push the boundaries of what they can do while also having fun while doing it. It's crazy. It's so cool.
I mean, I don't personally listen to Primus, but I get why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole of it. But yeah, I found that out recently and I was like, that's so funny.
Yeah. It was, it's cool. I don't even know how the South Park guys got a hold of, the guy from Primus, but, yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. So.
They stick, Matt Stone and Trey Parker, they stick their tendrils out crazy because one of the most famous episodes of South Park is Make Love Not Warcraft, where the guys play World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah. I've seen clips of it.
Their most famous, one of the highest rated episodes of all time. You watch behind the scenes of that episode, and it was very ambitious because South Park is animated the way that it is, but you look at it and it's like, oh, this looks exactly like it's cut from World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Well, they got the team from I want to say Oblivion, but that's not right. What is it? The company that makes World of Warcraft? I can't remember. Blizzard. It's Blizzard.
There we go.
They were like, the South Park guys just reached out and they're like, hey, we're trying to make a South Park episode. Like putting their fingers together, like, we're trying to make a South Park episode about World of Warcraft.
Can you guys help us?
Can you guys help us? And they're like, yeah, we'll just give you the World of Warcraft engine and you can do whatever you want with it. And we'll even animate the mouths to move like you want them to or whatever. So basically, they worked with Blizzard to, make that episode and like,
I mean, shout outs to Blizzard
awesome.
because they also did Arcane.
Oh, yeah.
Their
yeah,
League of Legends.
Yeah. And
so they just know how to make great media.
Agreed. And I mean, World of Warcraft, is a game to remember. It's just a shame that the people who play it have to be as gross as they are.
Yeah.
Sorry to any WoW players out there, but I'm
Dang,
sorry, y'all are stinky.
You just offended
Sorry,
so many people.
Y'all are stinky, and so are League of Legends players.
You know what's funny is you said that, and the first thing that came to my mind is, well, I'm a freaking Magic player.
You are a Magic player.
It's like, and they're
You
supposed
are.
to stink.
You are. Didn't was it Brayden that was like, I went to go play Magic at somewhere and people stank? They were
Probably.
stinky. I can't remember.
It's
but
probably him.
yeah, just man. And every time me and you walk into a card shop, I am immediately very aware that I am a woman.
The only
I'm very
place
aware.
I feel like you would feel comfortable at a card shop here and where we live is
Yeah.
probably Crazy Squirrel.
Yeah, but I don't even feel safe there either.
Yeah. I will
Because-
say, when I went to Mox in Seattle, holy crap,
I know. I would have
dude.
loved to go because I'm
Dude,
sure
that
that
was-
was crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. No, we have a local store here that opened up near my old apartment. And so me and my two roommates at the time, Shelby and Matt, we walked into this store, and it's like a cool store. It doesn't necessarily have a bunch of cards. It has a bunch of D&D stuff, and they have board games and puzzles and stuff like that.
They got rooms for D&D too.
Yeah,
that
and
you
then they
can
have a
rent.
bunch of like plushies and like Pokemon like statues and stuff. So I was looking at those, I was looking at everything. We're in line to check out, and in the store it's full of dudes. And so me and Shelby, we're just like talking and shooting the shit, like not really paying attention. We leave the store and Matt goes, "Do you know that like every dude in the store was looking at both of you?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, no, everybody was looking at you. Like they had never seen a woman before." And I was like, "Oh my God, I had no idea."
Would you have felt differently if he had never told you that?
Yeah, if I didn't know, I had no idea. I wasn't paying attention because I was like, surely it would be just, normal people doing normal things, going about their day, not staring at people. But the people who run the store are super chill. Like, they're very, very nice people. So it wasn't the workers. It was just the passerbyers. And I was like, have y'all never seen a pair of asses before? You never seen titties before? Don't stare at me.
Stop staring at
I'm
me.
sensitive.
Yeah,
I was just, and I'm not saying like, oh, look at me, flaunting.
Look at
whatever.
this ass.
Look at this ass. I'm walking around like a model. Well, that's not what I'm saying. It's just like any woman could have walked into that store and that reaction would have been that way.
Yeah.
But I was just like, yo, touch grass.
Go outside every once
Touch
in a
grass.
while. To get back onto topic a little bit.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up how much Minecraft movie has made.
Oh yeah, what are we at so far?
We're at 800 million. Worldwide.
Oh my!
Off of I want to say it was like a $300 budget
Hey,
or a
Siri,
$300
how do you
million
say
budget.
chicken jockey in Mandarin?
Chicken jockey.
Will she tell me?
In Mandarin Chinese, chicken jockey is 机骑士.
这是
Thank you. That was amazing. Anyway.
But yeah, I wanted to bring that
Just
stat up.
little Chinese kids.
Yeah. 这是
Okay. Anyway. Holy crap.
Oh, lordy.
I looked up. Oh, I don't want to talk about it. Never mind.
Okay. I was going to say I've been watching The Last of Us Season 2 and Andor Season 2.
Yes.
And I will say, last night, there are 3 episodes left of Andor that will come out probably next week. I watched this last 3 episodes because they come in episodes of, like, spurts of 3. And I was so hyped. I was so because you've seen Rogue One, right?
I have. It's been a while, but yes, I have.
I was so hyped.
I loved it.
Because
hey guys, I like movies.
I
don't watch them, but I like them.
But you like them. I forget her first name, but Martha, she's like one of the rebel leaders.
Oh.
She has this speech regarding like basically fake news.
Fake news.
And
Propaganda. Let me get a propaganda at those titties.
Put this AI photo of me
Sucking sorry. No, it was
it
was Elon sucking his toes.
with a Sith lightsaber.
I want the red one. I want it to be red. I want it to glow. I want it to be very long, girthy, very long, very red, very girthy, veiny too. I'm sorry.
You were going at it.
Like how much do I want to commit to this before I make my mother angry?
But no, I was watching it and man, I was getting hyped.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. And then it ended and I was like, I gotta go to bed. Oh. But I've been watching also Last of Us Season 2 and it's funny talking to people who haven't played the game.
Like me.
Like you. Or I have a coworker at work who's watching it right now. And I'm like, have you played the game? He's like, no. And I'm all, okay.
Okay.
All right, well.
Okay. You did tell me what happens because I was like,
yeah, you're not going to watch it. I'm not going to spoil it for everyone right now.
I watched season 1 because I love Pedro Pascal, first of all. I think he's great. And also I was just like, I never played Last of Us. I was like, I kind of don't know what's going on. I get a general idea, but I kind of don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
It was great.
And Season 2 is still really, really good, and it's still following the games. I'm just...
Swig.
I'm a little... It's going to be interesting later in the...
I'm a little worried.
I'm a little worried. It's going to be interesting.
It's so fun to do.
It's so easy. It's even if you do a bad one, it's so easy.
It's killing my throat, but I don't care. It's awesome.
But yeah, my last topic is I just want to talk about Washington a little bit more because I just love talking about it. I love talking about it.
I love it there.
I love it there. They just tore out one of our tree in our backyard.
Today when I got home from work,
they tore the tree out, Toby.
Yeah, we have a tree in front of our back patio. I get home and there's tree trimmers. I was like, oh, they're gonna trim down the tree and cut it down.
Little did you know.
It might be in the way. I get home. I'm trying to change my clothes. The window's wide fucking open. I'm like, okay, no free show. I close it. I open the curtains back up, and the tree is gone.
No tree.
So, California is when no tree.
Yeah? That one just came right out. Holy crap.
I'm sorry.
So we don't have any shade.
No.
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 And it's a little
Oh,
it's
God.
upsetting.
It's getting hot here too. I'm not happy.
I wake up in the morning and I was like, this feels nice.
I
And
wake
then,
up
like,
and it's warm.
and it's so warm.
It's so warm.
And then 3 minutes later, it's sweat dripping down my butt cheeks. Still thinking of him?
Yeah. California is when no tree.
It was when no tree.
Is when no tree.
Cut all the trees down.
But Washington is when tree.
Is when and rain. But Washington tree and rain.
I'm sorry. It's coping. I'm coping.
But no,
Oh God.
I love Washington.
Washington was great.
And it's funny because one of my coworkers, her son is getting offers for football because he's pretty good.
Yeah.
And like full rides and stuff, pretty good.
Yeah.
And she was just saying that he got a thing to Montana, like a full ride to Montana. I was like, that's cool. She's like, but he just recently got one for Oregon State.
Oh, that'd be dope.
And I was like, oh, that's so much closer because she wants him close.
Right.
And I don't think he wants.
Also, Montana. Yuck.
What's there?
Delaware.
Huh?
Heyo. Anyway.
But I think his goal is just to go for the education. Like, he doesn't want to become like a NFL player or anything.
Period.
He's like, this is an easy way to.
Scholarship's a scholarship.
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And I said, Oregon State's pretty close.
That's not bad. That's bad.
That's pretty good. You're gonna do it again.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
But yeah, I was just every day I go to work and I look outside and I just think it could be that too. I'm like, it could be raining right now.
The freeway on my way to work, the sides where there's grass, it's not grass.
It's
because
just
it's dead.
It's dead.
It can't be grass because it's dead.
It's just dead. So,
anyway, I'm complaining. Do you like this podcast where I complain?
Washington is tree and rain.
California is
God,
no tree.
Can you guys tell that we're losing it? This month has been insane for us, and we're losing it. We're losing it. We have the pet of the week is a Roomba.
His name is Jeremy. His name is Jeremy. He's a mop.
I remember your brother showed me the picture of their like statue bulldog that they had. They have at the house.
What did they name him? I can't remember.
I have no clue. But they're like, he was like, can I use this? I go, no.
No. I'd rather have the Roomba because
the
Roomba
can move.
The Roomba moves.
That has a personality right there.
Yeah, they have like this statue that the previous owners left, and they gave it a name, and I can't remember. But I remember they were like, what about, I'm going to say Brutus. That's not the name of it. They're like, what about Brutus? I'm like, what the is Brutus? They're like, you don't know what we're talking about?
Oh, yeah,
like,
they got upset.
No. I was like, no, I don't remember the name you gave to your statue bulldog.
Yeah, I'm
so sorry.
Sorry. You know what we should do is we should start naming inanimate objects and be like, oh, you remember this? You remember Joey? And they're like, who the f*** is Joey? They're like, you don't know who Joey is?
That reminds me, when around the time we were first starting
Joey
we were going out. Around the time we were going out, I went on a trip to Colorado to visit my dad. And I told him I was going to the zoo because in Colorado, where my dad lived, they have a pretty cool zoo. And Micah just texted me, say hi to Tony for me. And I was like, who is Tony? And he was like, Tony, my boy Tony. I'm like, we've been dating for like a month, maybe 2 at this point. I was like, I don't know who this is.
You were so confused. And for the longest time, I was like, am I going too far with this bit?
I was just so
And then finally you took a picture of a giraffe.
Yeah, I took a picture. Like, they have this at the zoo. they have this whole thing where obviously you can get lettuce and you can feed the giraffes or whatever. And it was just a perfect view. I took this funny picture of a giraffe and Micah goes, Tony! I'm like, you were talking about a giraffe the whole time? I was like, do you know this giraffe? He's like, nah, that's just like any giraffe, that's Tony. And I was so fucking confused. I was like, who is Tony? I just met you. I don't know who Tony is.
We've been dating for like a month, and I'm over here throwing out like,
Tony?
yo, that's Tony.
I'm like, who the fuck is Tony?
And that's like when you like, I can tell over text that you were legitimately getting like upset, and that's when I was like thinking to myself like, did I go too far with this stupid fucking bit? You were so lost, and I was
just like,
I remember I had to text you.
Is he gonna break up with me because I don't know who the fuck?
I remember I had to text you, and I was like, Sarah, I'm just kidding. I just made that up the second you texted me about Colorado.
I know. I was just like,
you were like, oh.
I was like, I don't know a Tony. I don't know any Tony. I was like, did we meet a Tony together? I was like, I don't think I met any of his friends. Like, I don't know who Tony is. And it was just a giraffe.
Speaking of the zoo, remember the first time we went to the zoo together?
And it was the hottest day of the year.
We went with Tyler and Melissa because
they were just like, let's go to the zoo.
Well, okay, there's a little bit more behind that.
Okay, but that's the gist.
I think Tyler went to the zoo one day because he's a teacher, and they went for a field trip.
Right.
And Melissa got upset that he had gone without her. So then she was like, we're going to the zoo today. And he was like, okay. And so he just texted me out of the blue. He's like, are you and Sarah doing anything? And I was like, not really.
I had never met them yet.
Yeah,
I had not.
Were
met
they
them yet.
the first friends out of mine that you had met?
Yes, the first one I met were Tyler and Melissa.
And
maybe Braden before he left for Seattle, but I don't remember.
I think it was Tyler and Melissa.
It might have been Tyler and Melissa.
And so I was like, all right, well, Sarah's gonna be two of my best friends, and so we dress completely black.
We're in black, yeah.
All blacked out. We show up. Tyler's like, whoa, guys, and we're like, yo. 5 minutes in, we realized how big of a mistake that was.
It was the hottest day of the year. And we live in the valley. So that hottest day of the year is like 105.
120.
Yeah. Okay, 120. It was probably like
from
100
500 degrees.
It was bad. Like it was so
we
bad.
We were drenched in sweat afterwards.
We got in the car to leave and I was like, I'm up these seats. Like my butt sweat is going to mess up.
I remember
these seats.
we
took an immediate
we
shower.
sped run that zoo.
We did. Like we took breaks and we're like, oh look, meerkat. Oh look, elephant. Okay, bye.
Okay,
and then we're
bye.
Like, next section.
And I remember like telling Tyler about that. I was like, dude, I feel so bad. He goes, we feel bad. We're the ones who brought you guys along.
It was funny though. It was funny to think about. Hey, I just met these people. They invited me to the zoo.
Yeah.
And it was the hottest day of the year.
The hottest. I feel bad for the animals.
It's hot. Well, I mean.
Well, they have shade. To be fair, we didn't see a lot of animals.
No,
they were all in the
way
shade.
Too hot.
We saw a orangutan. That was the coolest thing. Remember? It was like up in the corner of the window.
Oh yeah, and it was
you were like right up to it. It was
mean mugging people.
Yeah.
I have this fear of like big monkeys.
Me too.
Like even smaller monkeys, like they remind me of like smaller monkeys remind me of chihuahuas. I'm like
you and 1,000 other Sarahs. So like you and duplicates of you versus one gorilla.
We're white, clapped, cooked. Any of the other gamer words, pick one. Smoked, cooked. You know, I'm not fighting back. I'm like, fuck it, you win. You are the peak form of humanity. It's you.
I think it's funny when people.
I evolved from you for a reason because you were the starting point. You know.
I remember. I think it's funny when people are like, "Yeah, I could do it," and I'm like,
"No, you can't."
I was like, I've talked to a few of my friends and they're like, give me a few weeks in the gym. And I'm like, a few weeks?
You know what's crazy? Like, a kangaroo could pop out in 2 seconds. It's already throwing hands. And you need weeks at the gym? It was just born 5 minutes ago.
A gorilla has generations of just manhandling other gorillas.
It came out of the orangutan ussy ready to throw hands.
And you need
You're
weeks?
Getting clapped. You're not that guy, pal.
You're not that guy.
You're not that guy.
You're not that guy. Yeah, I think it's funny, the whole gorilla conversation. Because
100 men versus one gorilla.
Yeah, because it's just like, you can't. There's
I
no
love
way.
it though because it is so uniquely just like a boy conversation. I love it. It's so
I've seen
awesome.
the memes where it's just like me and 3 other guys versus the one gorilla, and I see him beating number 4 to death.
It's so funny. I'm like, I don't even know what it came from, and I don't care because of the discussions like that could be had in the world of men. Talking about fighting a gorilla is peak.
Well,
it's fucking
like
peak.
it's like a few months ago when there was that meme going around where it's like, ask your man if he thinks of Rome.
Yeah, I asked my brother. I was like, how often do you think of the Roman? I texted it to him. I was like, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? And he was like, maybe like once a day or something like that. And I was like,
What?
he was like, you're kidding. I think he was joking with me, but I texted him that, and I genuinely thought he was serious. I was like,
I don't know if you had asked me that, but I
don't think so.
I don't think I ever really think of the Roman Empire, to be honest.
No. I don't think I asked you, but I definitely asked Clayton, and that was the answer he gave me.
That's just the same.
I said, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? He said, not every day, but some days, yeah. And I, in all caps, said, why? He said, they were a powerhouse. They basically ran all of Europe. You can't just not think about them. And I said, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
It's called doing it
easy.
every day of my life.
Super easy.
I was floored. I found out later he was joking. I didn't know that. I read that text and I said, no way.
But that goes along with what you're saying. That's that boy brain thinking.
It's so funny. It's so primal to be like, I could fight that thing.
Yeah.
Me and 99 of my other bros, we can fight that thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Dude.
God.
Dude, Mike Tyson's versus gorillas.
100 Mike Tysons? Yeah, probably.
You think we have a chance?
Are we talking like the Mike Tyson who?
We're
okay, I was like, are we talking the Mike
Tyson
Tyson that fought Jake Paul, or like
No.
Mike Tyson that bit people's ears? Because I think the Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson that fought Jake Paul, pitiful. Dare I say, pitiful. But the Mike Tyson that was biting people's ears,
you made me do it.
You don't want to do this.
You don't want to do this, Jake.
All right. Of the fights I've watched, which that would be the second one I've ever watched. That was a waste of time.
That was so.
It was such
I remember
a
I
waste
put it
of
on,
time.
and you're like, "Why are we doing this?" I was like, "Because it's Netflix, and for me, it's free."
Because
so
it was
why not?
free. Because all of those fights are usually pay-per-view, and I'm
Yeah.
like, why the fuck would I spend my time? But I was like, all right, this could be the only time where I'm gonna watch a fight like this. Like, and I've never seen Jake Paul fight because why do I care?
Why would you?
But if it's against Mike Tyson, I'm like, yeah, all right,
Yeah,
whatever.
okay.
And then they. In the pre-fight interview, they talked to Mike Tyson. They turn around and they got a big old shot of his
Just
ass.
an ass as he's walking
Yeah.
away, and everyone's like, "Everyone
in
saw
his
that, right?"
assless chaps. And I was like, that is Mike Tyson's ass.
That's Mike Tyson.
Yeah, but you were telling me that I had no idea. They were like, yeah, in the contract, they told Mike Tyson he can't do like an uppercut or something like that.
He can't do his famous uppercut
He
against
can't
him.
do any moves or whatever. So I'm like, oh, so Jake Paul paid him to win.
Yeah.
Jake Paul did a Ubisoft pay to win microtransaction.
Yeah.
Is what he did for that fight. And Netflix let him.
You know
because
what's
they're like, yeah, man, obviously.
You know
and then
what's
the
so
website
funny
crashed.
is that I remember as a kid, my dad used to be super into UFC.
Yeah.
And he'd have UFC nights with all of his friends. Like, they'd all come over. They'd get the pay-per-view.
Oh, love.
And they would watch it.
Love that.
And I remember that was so nostalgic to me because I see fights now and I'm like, this is
That's gay.
it's like, this is crazy. This is what you guys would.
That looks a little
this
gay.
is- like, they would pay, like, I mean, obviously one person would buy and most likely have all of his friends over.
Right,
and
right,
they'd
right.
bring food and whatnot. But you're talking like $60 to watch, and it's possible that the fight lasts a few seconds, especially in the UFC.
Yeah.
I was like, so you're paying $60, and obviously you get all the fights leading up to it, but it's just like you're paying for the main fight,
Yeah.
and for it to possibly end up being like a few seconds is
Yeah.
crazy to think about.
Like the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight, like it lasted like they
So
went
long.
out the timer, but they just did nothing.
They didn't do anything.
They sat there and they hugged. They landed maybe 1-2 punches
Tyson just
the
took everything.
entire time. Yeah. And then at the end he's like, I want to fight Logan Paul, and Logan Paul's like, huh?
Logan Paul.
He's
Paul was like,
"You do
say
what
that again.
You don't want to do this, Logan
You
Paul.
don't want to do this, Logan Paul.
I was like,
You've
why was he
awakened
there?
the dormant demon inside me.
You do what you do, this Jake. Because it reminds me of football. My grievance with football is that football can be cool. Like, there are some times that plays could look cool, but it's about 10 seconds of moving and then about another, like, 30 seconds of waiting for more moving.
Hike.
Again with baseball.
Commercials.
Baseball, they have pitch timers because the pitchers take way too long. They just sit there and they don't pitch. And it's boring.
That's why I love soccer.
I love soccer. I love watching volleyball.
Hockey's fun to watch, too.
Hockey can be fun, too. Because
tennis? Dude, tennis is crazy.
Tennis is crazy. You know what else is crazy? Is table tennis.
Table tennis is nuts. Yeah.
In the Olympics,
dude, they're nuts.
Dude, the Japanese and I think it's either Japan or China. They're crazy, dude.
It's insane.
Crazy.
It's insane.
And they got this little ass table, but they're like 10 feet away from
football.
the table.
It's about table tennis.
It's about okay, so the table tennis, like the actual table itself, is tiny, but they're 10 feet away from the table, and they're hey. That's crazy.
That's insane. That's skill right there.
Talk about a sport.
Yeah.
Talk about a sport. And
that's
you got this little ass paddle that's like made of wood and plastic.
And you're trying to hit a specific spot on the board.
It's crazy.
Golly, dude.
I do love tennis for the reason they go, at least in women's. They go, every time they hit the ball.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah. Have you never heard that before?
I've heard like the men, they go,
It's the same, but for women. Exactly. But imagine a woman doing that. She goes, I think it's like old school players. I don't think women do that as much anymore.
I think women
school,
now, I think they like scream. They're like,
They do.
Sound like they're murdering someone.
They also grunt. They grunt as well. But I'll show you some old school footage of like
tennis is crazy.
Players. Tennis is crazy.
Mia did tennis for like a year
tennis is hard.
in high school.
Fun.
And she was like the lowest, no offense. It's tough.
Yeah, it's hard.
But she was like one of the lowest rated people on her team.
That's fine. Honestly,
she had
tennis.
fun though. That's
what I'm saying. Tennis is fun. I was like, I'm dog tennis. I don't know the first thing about tennis. It's so much fun.
Dude, my mom, her and Robert tried doing tennis. They were warming up. Mm-hmm. She starts warming up, and she ruptured her Achilles.
Jesus Christ. Tennis kills.
And she was like, never doing that again. I was like, you're never playing tennis again? She's like, nope. And I was like, wow, okay. Ruptured her Achilles from just warming up.
That's insane. You didn't even get to do
you didn't even get to the part. You bought racks and everything. You didn't even get to the part.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even know how one ruptures their Achilles.
I don't even know how you do that.
How I don't even know how you would go about doing that.
She was like, you want to see my foot? I'm like, that.
I'd be like, yeah, I want to see what you did first.
No.
Go ahead and recreate that for me so I can not do that.
Nope. But I think it's nap time.
I'm so sorry. I work longer hours now.
Yeah.
So I'm getting a little eepy.
And
Guys, I'm sorry. Guys, I'm sorry.
Guys.
I'm a little eepy.
We're a little eepy. I think it's nap time.
Someone get me a Diet Coke. Have you never seen a thin person
and a
drinking
Big Mac,
Diet Coke?
Big Mac, please.
Tell Kim Jong-un he can have a Big Mac with me.
He can come over here and have a Minecraft meal with me.
A Big Mac and a large Dr. Pepper.
Anyways.
I can bring peace to the galaxy with a Big Mac and a large Dr. Pepper.
For I am Emperor Trump.
Do it.
Do it.
Kill the younglings. Kill the younglings,
Build the
Anakin.
wall.
Build the wall around the younglings. Build the wall in Tatooine.
We're gonna turn the moon into a Death Star.
The Jedi Council will fund the...
I mean, they kind of did. If you watch episode 3...
fully put my microphone down. I'm so sorry.
Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you loved our Trump impressions and everything else.
And if you didn't, I don't care. I'm still going to do it.
I have not been posting on the Instagram for a few weeks now. Oops. Hopefully I get back to that. It's been a grueling month so far, but we'll see. If you haven't, subscribe, like, comment about what your favorite part was of this episode.
And you can say it was my Trump impression. You can say it was him. That he wants a Dr. Pepper.
Or
and a
comment
Big
about
Mac,
how bad our
and
Trump
roast
our
beef with a
impressions
Big
were.
Mac and a Dr. Pepper.
Anyways,
a
we
Dr.
love you.
Pepper.
Are you done, sweetie?
Probably.
Anyways, like, subscribe, comment, and if you're on Spotify, thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.